streaming. I'm Cerise Cole.
I'm Erin Hartley, joined by meteorologist Jarrett Lansford and Senior Chief Meteorologist Rusty Lord. Getting some much needed rain. We'll take it.
Yeah, nothing that's going to be all that heavy. I think maybe a few downpours and some lightning, probably the biggest threat from any of this. But there are more and more showers showing up on the map, and we'll get more and more of these as we go through the course of the morning. Now, the big thunderstorms, the severe stuff, that's down to the south. That may chew up a little bit of the moisture trying to stream into what we have developing, but still think we'll get enough going here that it'll be noteworthy for the day today. And you'll look to the southwest all day for the rain showers to move in. That'll be the direction they're moving in from, and that's where they're going to be developing. Every once in a while, we get a little hint of some lightning. Not a ton of strikes out there, but you can see a few on the map try to show up amongst the showers, maybe a few stray thunder showers. Southwest of Lincoln is where the rain is right now at the 7 o'clock hour, but again, that'll continue to stream north. It will never be steady rain. We're looking at a lot of on and off stuff. Basically, from now through noon, the rain chances go up, and then afterwards, they go down during the afternoon. So you can kind of see with the random scattered showers, it's tough to say you'll get rain at any one point. Tough to say when it exactly arrives. You just got to watch the radar and see when the scattered showers are moving in. Could have a couple more overnight. It's quiet right now in the metro with the skies filling in with clouds. We're at 48. Feels like 45, dew point in the 30s as those showers try to move in. A lot of 40s on the map, a couple of 50s showing up, but still for the most part, 40s went out today. We are going to get a chance to warm a little bit today. As we go towards 9 o'clock, you can see how the showers really fill in from 9 to 10 to noon. Scattered showers, again, there's breaks in between these. Some downpours, some lightning every once in a while. We add a little more warmth to the day, a little better chance of some thunderstorms. But again, most of us stuck in the 60s because of the clouds. Best odds by mid-afternoon for rain are probably in our southern counties here as those move on through. By 7 o'clock, still some rain. Maybe a little more widespread for the Iowa side by 7 o'clock. Those move east then into the evening. And then from 10 o'clock on, I expect a pretty quiet map. Again, a couple sprinkles out there. No widespread organized rain, I think, tonight. Could start Thursday with a few showers in the area. And that's why we got the morning chance and then the evening round potential on Thursday. By Friday, a couple spotty showers and thunder showers as well. You're wondering, how much rain do we get out of this? Well, anything in the green here is a tenth to about a quarter of an inch. You get to some of the blues here on average, that's telling us maybe a couple of thunder showers can give you some half-inch totals. Now, these could be very random in places. So the thunder showers you get today, that's your best odds of getting maybe a half-inch of rain that probably a little more beneficial than the rest of us.
Yes, we desperately need the rain. We are so glad we're getting it. The good news is, though, we're going to clear up for the weekend, right?
Yeah, it's looking really good this weekend. Got some 70s on the way. Already talking with my family about what we're going to do to enjoy this weekend. Right now, 70s on the way. I got to get the garden rolling. My daughter wants to plant some flowers. We'll get a lot of that done and just enjoy the outdoors. You got a beautiful one on the way Saturday and into Sunday. Then over the course of next week, very unsettled pattern with many opportunities for rain. Most of this will probably be to our west, but finding a day where a couple of chances stream east. Wednesday and Thursday maybe sticking out a little bit more. Highs in the 70s. Again, a random 80-degree day would not surprise me next week, but nothing, again, really sticks out. So you got a little more humidity, some 70s, and some spotty showers, just a bunch of May for that first week of May. So lining up well.
That first weekend, though, nothing to complain about there.
Yeah, everybody's going to be outdoors.
I know.
Everybody.
And you know what? It's a really busy weekend, too. Got Berkshire Hathaway going on.
Yeah, good point.
A lot of festivals. First weekend of the farmers market, too.
Right before Cinco de Mayo. So
Okay, really busy weekend. We'll be prepared.
Good luck doing all of it.
I know. All right, in the meantime, for a crash this morning to tell us about.
And the placement of this is just terrible.
Oh, tell us.
We've been talking about I-80 so much lately. It's right in the middle of that construction zone.
Gosh.
So you have that factor. You've got the crash right in the middle of that. So you're trying to work your way around that. You're going to have a tough time here. If you use I-80 westbound, be ready for all sorts of delays. There's what we're talking about. You can see this is right near the Giles exit where we have this, and the left lane is blocked as a result of this crash. You can see the big red delays that stretch all the way to the edge of the monitor there. Here's what it's looking like, and looks like just within the last couple of minutes, this is some good news. It looks like we have cleared that lane that was blocked, so we're starting to get things moving a little bit again. But you're looking at issues that are in place. What started this whole mess was a stalled semi that was in place on I-80 westbound, that just before 144th. And I'll say this looks a lot better too. Maybe we've managed to tow this out of the lane of traffic, and that we'll start seeing improvement there as well. So a couple of different things that have kind of combined to cause big backups, maybe starting to move in the direction of improvements, but there's where you're seeing those delays, and they go all the way back up to the 680 interchange right now. So unfortunately, there's not a great alternate route to try to avoid those delays. That's why it's a good thing that we are starting to see some opening up of that, because 144th normally would be, but that has construction too, and you can see how that's slow as you're approaching I-80 as well. So you kind of just have to be prepared for it to be slower, and hopefully by the time you get to that stretch that has that crash that has now cleared, you'll start to see things get a little bit better. But I am a little concerned that we're starting to see 680 back up a little bit as you're getting close to the I-80 interchange as well. You're looking at that map, you're seeing a lot of green elsewhere, so that's a good sign. It means everyone else is seeing a pretty smooth commute, and hopefully we'll see things continue to improve on 80.
All right, Jared, thank you.
We made it here, so it's a lot of relief and just happiness, joy, and sadness at the same time.
Yes.
Well, just a whirlwind of emotions for this family and for loved ones of the girls who went missing in the Missouri River. It's been 2 weeks since we first told you about this heartbreaking story of the 3 girls going missing.
Yeah, crews went back into the river yesterday morning searching for Leanna Green and A. Cree Moo. At about 10 o'clock, a body was found, and about an hour and a half later, a second body.
And we're still waiting for some official confirmation from the coroner's office on the identities of those bodies found. The Omaha Fire Department tells us they found them just south of the OPPD plant. Investigators say they do expect it is the 2 girls missing. 18-year-old Lake Trey Moo's body was found over the past weekend.
All right, we're here with Maria Kate at the safety desk, and caring for your teeth doesn't just help prevent cavities and gum disease. It's also good for your overall health.
Yeah, this is some pretty interesting information that we're talking about here today. A lot of those oral diseases, they're not really painful at first. You might not notice it.
Yeah.
And many times they're actually not treated until it gets to a more serious stage because of that. Some of the most common conditions that people might have are things like cavities, tooth decay, gum diseases, even oral cancers and tooth loss too. But Cerise, like you said, it can also impact your overall health. There are a lot of studies that actually link your oral health to different conditions like cardiovascular disease, people with strokes, diabetes, Alzheimer's too. And for people who are expecting, it can also mean preterm low birth weight babies.
It's super important to find a dentist and a dental hygienist that you work well with, and to not be afraid to go in and take care of your mouth.
Now, experts say the best way to prevent that decay and protect your mouth is by brushing your teeth at least twice a day. We always hear it morning and night before you go to bed. Also, make sure you floss every day, and don't forget to go to the dentist to get that checkup too and that teeth cleaning.
Seems so easy. Seems so easy, but good reminders to everybody. All right, some new information this morning about Alzheimer's.
Yeah, I got to speak with the Nebraska chapter of the Alzheimer's Association yesterday. They say there are over 7 million people throughout the country who are living with Alzheimer's, and this is the first time that number has been that high ever. So when we zoom into Nebraska, about 35,000 people over age 65 here live with Alzheimer's. Last year, unfortunately, 746 people died from the disease. Now, as those numbers grow, there is a bigger demand for medical professionals to care for people who are living with the disease. And according to this report that you see there are 27 geriatricians in Nebraska as of 2021, 27 in the entire state. So the Alzheimer's Association says that they would need to increase the number of doctors to help care for all the people who have Alzheimer's by 137% to meet that demand.
It would start with, in our medical schools, how are we supporting and encouraging people to want to go into this field to serve older adults?
They say another growing need too are family caregivers. Of course, a lot of times they're doing this unpaid, you know, just out of the goodness of their heart. The report finds that there are about 41,000 people in the state who care for their loved one that has Alzheimer's. Again, a lot of times they don't get paid for that. So as testing becomes more and more common and more people are getting that diagnosis, the study also found that about 79% of people, this is all across the country, they want to know if they have the disease early. So people are getting tested before, you know, they show any signs signs or symptoms.
Ooh, we have a lot of work to do.
Absolutely.
All
But
right.
it's good to see the research.
Yeah,
coming out.
and good information. All right, Maria, thank you. We'll be right back.
All right, welcome back. Time now 7:14 as we begin this Wednesday morning. A little bit of spotty showers starting off the day.
Yeah, we got a few of those already developing to the southwest, and you don't really have to worry about any severe with these, but I do expect there to be a couple of thunder showers in the mix. The stronger complex of storms down here in the Oklahoma, Texas area with that severe thunderstorm watch box, and that's where the severe risk overall is today, a 3 out of 5 down there. You can see no real threat, just some thunder shower potential in our area today, and you'll notice on the satellite and radar there they are developing to the southwest. Clouds pretty much locked in for today. Going to be tough to get breaks just the way things look like they're developing so far. And then there's the batch of showers we're watching. Again, keeping an eye out. There's been a couple of stray lightning strikes farther southwest. Nothing there right now, but don't be surprised if these develop into a little bit more. So you look southwest and you will see the rain moving in. That's the direction it will move in from all day long. One shower passes by, the next one will try to move in from that direction. 50s to the south, 40s for the rest of us. So a little chilly to start, but I do think we're going to be able to warm by 9 o'clock. There's your 50s, there's your showers. 9 to 10 to 11 to 12, just more on the map streaming in. Mostly, though, river into the west, I'd say, by lunch. And then they move east and try to hang on a little bit more into the afternoon. Best odds probably going to be in our southern counties by this afternoon. And then into the evening, those will shift to the Iowa side and move out. Pretty quiet overnight, all things considered. A couple of sprinkles still possible at times, but even the batch to the northwest likely fizzles. We'll have some clouds around. Could have a couple around to start the day on the Iowa side especially. And then Thursday, let me show you what this looks like here because there's a couple more opportunities. Chances low at the moment, but it's something to watch. So there's the early batch of very spotty showers that are possible in the morning hours. Enough clearing tomorrow, I think between any rounds of rain, we can jump up to 70 degrees. And then a batch of thunder showers tries to develop for the evening. Now, not every model has this, but if they develop, this is a kind of scenario where they could kick out a little wind from the northwest. Would not be surprised to see some wind gusts in that 40 to 60 mile per hour range from any evening thunder showers that can get going on Thursday. So just below severe limits, but trying anyway as some rain rushes out from these and maybe get a couple of thunder showers too. Then by Friday, possibility of some morning rain in the area. Again, this is starting to look a little more prevalent on models, so something to watch here. Those chances could go up if this trend holds. There's some morning rain on Friday. That slides east and then get a couple spotty showers in the afternoon that may struggle a little bit to hold on, especially as we get towards Friday evening. And there you go. Pretty quiet by Friday evening. That sets the stage for what's looking like a pretty good weekend. But you look at the rainfall potential here. The green shows you over the course of the next 72 hours, so the next 3 days worth of rain chances, the 1/4 of an inch or less, but there's some spots in the thunder showers. Any blue is a 1/2 inch or a little bit more trying to show up. So the potential's there. Best odds probably south of I-80 to get that, but something to watch for the next couple of days. There you go with the rain chances through Friday. Again, we talked about it earlier, weekend lining up to be absolutely enjoyable. So much going on. We're going to show off here for everybody rolling into town for the Berkshire weekend.
Yeah.
And, busy one. I think Kentucky Derby's on TV.
They're going to think we have the best weather.
Yes. That's
We'll
great.
have them fooled. No, okay, so we're wrapping up April on a wet note. But as we look into May, we already see the weekend links, right? But how does the rest of May look as we start the new month?
I got to say, pretty standard May stuff. It's going to look like a washout of a week next week when you look at the 10-day forecast, but these are all small chances just given the way the pattern looks. There's going to be a storm system parked to the west of us, trying to send a few rain chances, some storm chances our way. Temperatures in the 70s. Again, nothing that sticks out all that much, and it doesn't look like it's going to get all that humid as we head into that first part of May as well. Again, today's the last day of April. First 6 days of May doesn't have a lot of humidity with it. Dew points down in the pleasant or refreshing range. I'll take that as deep into May as we can get, because you know June, July, and August will be humid. So any reprieve from it we can get in May. And I just had my air conditioner worked on yesterday too. Had a couple parts that were a little sketchy, so got that fixed. Now we're good to go. Glad I caught that early.
Right on time.
All right. Meantime, let's get another check on traffic this morning with Jarrett.
And we've been watching I-80 with the litany of issues that we've been seeing. Now, there's some signs of improvement that are trying to work their way in. You wouldn't know it by looking at this camera shot. This is the lingering delays as you're trying to enter that construction zone westbound right around Q or so. And it's kind of a parking lot right now. So no, it's not good, but the things that have improved, we've cleared the crash as you're making your way near Giles. That was kind of the cause for the big buildups that we had seen. And so that's good news that we at least have all of the functioning lanes through that construction zone. But we do have delays that stretch back past the 680 interchange as you're entering that on I-80, as well as right near center. You do have things running slowly, so we still have to free some of that up. The other kind of good news, bad news situation is we've cleared the stalled semi near 144th. Now, unfortunately, we have a pickup that's stalled in that same general area. So watch for that. That's partially blocking the lane there on the right-hand side as you're making your way through that zone. Also have some pretty sizable delays now showing up eastbound on I-80 right around 144th. So that whole construction zone is just kind of a mess right now. That's easily the slowest and most impacted area of the metro. Watch 480 heading over the Missouri River to go into Omaha from Council Bluffs. So that construction zone being slow as well.
A lot going on. All right, Jared, thank you. We'll talk about cutting edge technology.
One coffee giant is taking 3D printing to a different level when we come back.
Happening this week, Starbucks is expected to open its very first 3D printed store in the U.S.
All right. Unfortunately, though, if you want to see it, you have to travel to Brownsville, Texas. Wow. That's way down south, by the way. Yeah. Here's how this was made. A computer-controlled robotic arm did much of the work by pouring one layer of concrete on top of another. This drive-through only location is set to open on Friday. Starbucks has not said whether more stores like this are on the horizon or why the company chose Brownsville as what I was kind of wondering. I mean, there is a population there, so people there will get to enjoy it. But
it looks legit.
It looks really cool.
And if it saved them money, expect there will be more.
I mean, it does make sense. They're using 3D printing to build homes, so why not a business?
Well, and I mean, I wouldn't be surprised if we saw more drive-through only locations. You look here, scooters, most of them are drive-throughs. Yeah. And a lot of more people are going through the drive-through on their way to go somewhere instead of maybe walking in and getting their coffee. So that might become a lot more popular.
Now I want a white chocolate mocha.
Yeah, is that your thing? Is that the cerise drink?
That's mine.
Are you going to Brownsville to get that? Or?
I'm okay. Let's do it. Road trip.
You can book the cheap flights that we talked about yesterday.
There you go.
It's close to the beach. I'm down.
Who's in? All right, everybody. We got to get ready for our update in the Today Show. You can watch it here on streaming or over the air. Show. Have a great day.
Have a great day.
Live from WOWT, First Alert 6 starts now.
Good Wednesday morning, everybody. It is 7:26. I'm Cerise Cole.
I'm Aaron Hartley. Let's go to I-80 eastbound where Jared has an update about traffic.
I tell you, this whole stretch between 144th and Q in both directions has just been a total mess this morning, even more so than it has lately. We're seeing all kinds of delays as you're trying to enter that construction zone heading eastbound. It's unclear exactly why it's as bad as it is this morning. Westbound, where you see that orange, that's where we had a stalled semi. Now we have a pickup that's stalled in that area, so watch for the lane partially blocked on the right-hand side. Lingering delays westbound on I-80 from about 680 down toward Giles. That was where there was a crash. That has now cleared, but it's still very slow as you head through that area. Rusty.
Wow, yeah, that has backed up quite a bit. All right, let's talk about the rain that's now going to be added to the equation as we go to later in the morning, too. The clouds have locked in here, and now they'll eventually produce some showers. You can see those moving in from the southwest. They moved into the Lincoln area. Occasionally, there's been a little lightning, although nothing showing up here in the last couple of minutes. But that's the next batch of showers. You'll look to the southwest for these to move in. It's never going to be steady rain, I don't think, but the odds for rain just go up as we head towards lunch, and then they'll dwindle some by late afternoon. Some quiet time this evening, and then maybe a few more showers overnight. Temperatures, they're in the 40s as of right now, about 48 in Omaha, in Millard, 46 in Elkhorn. First alert to struggle to warm today. The showers moving through will impact your temperature, obviously, as they do so. I think we can get to about 62 degrees on average around the city today. Aaron?
Two bodies have been recovered from the Missouri River. Investigators believe those belong to the two of the three girls who went missing in the river earlier this month. The third girl's body was pulled from the river from over the weekend.
It is 7:28. We are back with another update for you in about 25 minutes. We'll see you then.